H-Town, what it do? Stand up, baby. Yeah. Welcome to the Houston Texans versus Colts post-game show. It's crunk in my house right now. They're downstairs yelling, screaming. What it do, H-Town? Look, it wasn't pretty. It was a little scary at the end there. Kaimi Fairbairn had not missed an extra point all season. But you know what? Let me get my lighting in here straight, bro. I'm so excited. I forgot to do the damn thing. So check it out. I'm gonna try to give y'all some of the audio of the post-game interviews because I don't want y'all to miss anything. We'll see what YouTube and Facebook have to say about that. But man, what a game. I took so many notes. I want to show you guys really quick. I'm not saying that I deserve to be the president of Houston Sports Nation, but these were my keys to the game. And ultimately, number 5 came to fruition. Have more points than the Colts when the game is over. That's what the Texans did. Protect CJ, they did that for the most part. Run the ball effectively, they did it when they needed to. It was a struggle. I'll pull up the stats here in a little bit. Dumb penalties. I think the Texans were called for 11 penalties in this game, and I was starting to worry that it was going to cost them. But as the leader of Houston Sports Nation, my optimism would not allow me to go there. I had a feeling that they were going to pull it through, man. At the end of the day, like I said, the reason the Texans won this game is because they have something that they're elite at. And they didn't do it all game. I think Jonathan Taylor ran for damn near 200 yards. But they got timely stops. And let's just keep it real. Gardner Minshew threw one bad pass. This game could have been completely different. Hey, so I want to appreciate everybody who's in the chat. I mean, it's crunk in here right now. I'm gonna try to get everybody's chat and comment up on the board. We have some Colts fans in the building. Let me start with Stacy Hughes. Stace, I'm surprised that you weren't drinking, to be honest with you. I thought of all people, you'd be the one getting crunk and turning up for this game. The Houston Texans are in the playoffs, man. Can you it's hard for me to even believe that I'm saying that. The Houston Texans are in the playoffs. Hey, look, man, great game by the Colts. Great season by the Colts. The AFC South is about to be crazy for the next few years, man. When the Colts get Anthony Richardson back, man, I tell you what, CJ Stroud, man, I took a lot of notes in this game, and I mean, immediately, the Colts drive the ball early in their first possession, and it looks like the defense is struggling a little bit. I put in my notes that the defense looks slow, but they bend and didn't break, and they held them to a field goal. And then the very first play of the game for the Texans offensively, I mean, the moment was not too big for CJ Stroud, man. Like, I can't say enough about I hate to be that guy. They're actually showing a replay of that play right now. If you guys are watching ABC still. I'm not trying to be that guy, but during the draft process, when everybody was on Bryce Young, I don't watch a lot of college football, but I watched enough college football where I was like, CJ Stroud is that dude. Like, in the NFL, you want a guy who's accurate. You want a guy who can play from the pocket. I know that we live in an era of NFL football where there's a lot of dynamic quarterbacks who can make plays off schedule. They can run. But at the end of the day, like, you're still going to win games in the pocket. And CJ Stroud is that dude, man. And in his first season as a Houston Texan, he's led them to the playoffs after having the number 2 pick in the draft. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hey, Naomi's in the house. Josh Beard, the old school Smells Like Middle-Aged Spirit podcast crew. What's up? So I want to hear about it, man. The phone line is open. Let me make sure I put the phone number in here. Give me a second. You have to bear with me, man. Like I chose to do a post-game show like at literally the last minute. So, but we're gonna have a good time. You guys tell me in the chat, man, what you thought the keys to the game was. And you guys let me know what you guys think is gonna happen in the playoffs, man. That's what I'm ready to find out for sure. Give me just a moment. Let me get you guys this phone number. I can't believe I don't remember the old spirit line. It's 832-835-3141. We're going to get some phone calls in here, man, because I know y'all are probably good and lathered up. Y'all probably been drinking since about 10 o'clock, so I'm expecting some really good phone calls. Give me just a second. Thank you for bearing with me. All right, that's the phone number, 832-835-3141. You guys call. I think I got my Bluetooth ready to go. I'm ready to hear from you guys. Damn, what a game. Let me go back to my notes. Let me look up some stats. So, offensively, obviously it was a struggle for this team. After that first, 75-yard play, for the next damn near two quarters, they only had like 70 yards after that. And you got to tip your hat to the Colts, man. Like the Colts did the damn thing. They made some key defensive plays. They made some good stops in the run game. They sacked CJ a couple of times. But at the end of the day, I think the better team won. And you guys probably agree with that. Hey, my wife knows the Spirit Line number off the top of the head. That's what's up. Somebody call. I want to hear. Thank you. I want to say one more time because Naomi's talking about the penalties. The Texans are gonna have to clean that up in the playoffs for sure. Are they playing Kansas City next? Forgive me for not knowing that. As the president of Houston Sports Nation, I should know that. But yeah, they're gonna have to clean up the penalties, man, for sure. Laramie Tunsil, I know you got a bad ankle, brother, but you were looking real 2022-ish in this game. And the problem wasn't just that it was penalties, it was the timing of the penalties, man. Like, it could have been bad, and we had the missed extra point by Cammy Fairbairn. But this is the reason I'm here as a leader of Houston Sports Nation, because I'm going to try to keep you calm in those moments where Houstonians usually fall apart, man. Like I said, we've had some heartbreak over the years. It's easy for us to be pessimistic. But I'm telling you, man, the future is bright for the Texans. I don't know how far they're going to go this year. As long as there's a game in front of them, I say win it. I think we're playing. So we're either going to play the Browns at home if the Jags lose. I think we're going to play Kansas City on the road if the Jaguars win tomorrow. So, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. The Texans are in the playoffs, man. Almost said the Super Bowl. Let me not jump ahead of myself right now. So, a couple of things. I took some notes. Like I said, oh, my man, I got a phone call already. You guys, I got to take this one. My man Christopher Rivers is giving me a call right now. No, Christopher Rivers has no dog in this fight, but I want to hear what he has to say. Chris, you there, bud? Give me a second, man. I'm having some technical difficulties in the middle of the show, bro. All right, Mr. Rivers, you there? Mr. Rivers, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, what's going on with you? You here to talk about Florida State or what?
I mean, I do think that we should have been in the playoffs.
100%. 100%. Let's talk
players.
about your
I mean, that's
NFL
fine
team though, because
that they went out.
you're a Steelers fan, correct?
Oh yeah, yes sir, yes
Okay.
sir.
So I believe that this Texans win does it for your guys, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I don't think it affects us.
No, I think
I
you
think
guys are out.
y'all had to have a tie.
That's right. That's right. So either way, anybody who won was gonna boot y'all. That's unfortunate, man. I like the Steelers. I like Mike Tomlin. But yeah, man, I just want to like you. How long have you lived in Houston? Because you're a Florida boy. How long have you
9
been?
years.
Okay. And at no point have you actually been a Texans fan. But I just want to get your assessment. Like, what do you think of this team, man?
Let's see. Oh yeah, hold on. I'm looking at the Steelers Instagram, and it says we get a playoff berth with y'all's tie or loss. I mean, y'all's tie or Indianapolis tie. So we still need a Jacksonville loss or a Buffalo loss.
I think if Jacksonville loses, okay, so Buffalo maybe, but if Jacksonville loses, they're just a wild card team. So
yeah, we'll get the wild card. We'll get a playoff berth either way. But nonetheless, I called to talk about Houston Texans though.
Okay.
Man, it looked good. Nico looks like a dog for sure. Stroud did his thing. I think y'all kind of got the lackluster towards the end and allowed, like you said, Jonathan Taylor to run that rock, which is going to be a problem.
Yeah. He had damn near 200 yards.
I think
right?
the ball. Yeah, he was in this thing. Yeah. And a little sub that came in too. Subback came in. He played very well too. Yeah.
But I gotta give the Texans credit, bro. They got stops on the run when they needed to.
I think the ball didn't lie at the end of the game. Yeah. I'm surprised. Yeah, Fairbanks missed the field goal, but the back end too. But he dropped that pass, so I think it's fair, and it's kind of exciting to see Houston make a CJ Stroud make when everybody's down him.
Yeah.
So and with receivers, you're throwing at Nico the whole game, and Nico's just doing his thing. Stroud was on point. At one point in the game, he was 2 touchdowns, 2 incomplete passes. Like Stroud was doing his thing. So
absolutely.
Good. Make it keep going.
I think we got a little squad, man. We got a little squad here. Yeah, CJ did his thing, man. I mean, 246 yards. He didn't get 300. He needed 300 to get to 4,000 for the season. But I say he's definitely offensive rookie of the year, no doubt.
Yeah, I do believe he's up there.
Right, so here's my question before I let you go. You gonna root for the Texans the rest of the way since your team is out?
No, can't. I don't know.
Come on, man.
I'm not gonna.
We got room on the bandwagon, bro. We got room. You can hop on. Hey,
I'm
man.
not rooting against it like that.
Okay, we appreciate that. Well, let me let you go, man. I got some other phone calls trying to come in. My man Prescott was trying to get in. I couldn't put you on hold, bro. So if you're still there, man, call me back. But Chris, thanks for calling, man. I'm gonna see you down the line. Appreciate your support, bro. Like I told you before, man, you're A1. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Thank you.
Yes, sir. That is a Texans win, ladies and gentlemen. That's Chris Rivers. He don't have a dog in the fight, man, but he recognizes good football when he sees it. Did we get a winner? Oh, Zeal. You were 1 point off, bro. You were 1 point off. Wait, no. It was okay. It was 23-19. You were close, man. You almost got a t-shirt. Nobody guessed 23-19. That is a guarantee. So I'll have to find another excuse to give somebody a t-shirt. Prescott, if you're still there, bro, hit me back, man. I was trying to put you on hold, but apparently my phone don't work like that, and I apologize. I apologize for that. Okay. Let's go to the chat, man. Anybody else? No, Prescott, it's cool, man. Give me a call back. I just want to hear from the Texans fans, man. Y'all call the phone number, 832-835-3141. The biggest takeaway for me from the entire game.
Prescott
There he is. Give me a second, Prescott. Hey, hold on just a second, bud, okay? The biggest takeaway for me for the game is that the moment is not too big for CJ Stroud, man. And they made the plays when they needed to. Yes, they gave up a lot of rushing yards. I can't act like, look, that last pass to Minshew threw on fourth down. I mean, if he makes that completion, this might be an entirely different ball game. But that's the reason you lace him up, and that's the way the cookie crumbles, man. Prescott Kelly, you're on the line, buddy. What's up, dude? Hold on a second.
It was always like there was no ringtone, so I blew up you up like 4 different times in a row. That was my fault.
Hey, no worries, man. I thought I had a hold button so that I could take multiple calls, but apparently I did not. If anybody got the score right, I don't think they did. I don't think anybody had 23-19, but just in case I'm wrong, you guys let me know. So what's your take, man?
Dude, when it was 17-14, I was thinking I was looking real good for a moment.
Yeah. I think my pops jinxed us, bro. After the first play, he calls me. He's like, "Get my T-shirt ready. This ain't even gonna be close." I'm like, "Come on, Pop. Come on, Pop. You know better. This is Houston sports, bro. Houston sports. We don't ever make it easy, ever."
I know, but that's the energy you have to have, though.
Absolutely. I mean, I appreciate the confidence, man, but to me, that's usually famous last words. So now the pressure's on your Bills, man. They got to do something tomorrow.
Man, it's wild. Yeah, they could either have the 2 seed or they could even be out of the playoffs.
Yeah,
it's wild to think of where they were to where they came and where it could all just end in a single moment.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy to me. That it's just been a crazy season, man. I mean, to think the Colts had the number 4 pick in the draft this year, and they lose that draft pick 2 games into the season. The Texans dealt with a ton of injuries all season long. Even CJ missed a couple of games. They had the number 2 pick, and they both had an opportunity to make the playoffs. And the Texans could win the division, man. I can't make myself root for the Titans tomorrow. But I mean, since the Texans are in, I'll go ahead and root for the Bills. Yeah, I can't root for the Titans tomorrow, but I'll go ahead and root for the Bills, man. I mean, the Texans are in, so I have no reason not to let you get in on this excitement. You know, let's have some playoff football.
Well,
for all of us.
All I know is that if Buffalo does make the playoffs, because I'm not even 100% certain that they will, I don't want to face the Texans because, that's going to be a Robert Woods comeback story, and he's going to ball off with like 9 catches, a buck, 60 and 2 touchdowns. I can feel it.
And Devin Singletary, bro. Like, it's going to be
Motor and Robert.
Wouldn't that be something? Come back and bite the hand that once fed him. I appreciate you guys if you're still tuning in.
Well, they didn't feed him. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's true. That is very, very true, man. Well, I'm looking forward to being on your show tomorrow, bud. You said 9:30 a.m.
I'm looking forward to it too, man.
I think it's 9:30 my time.
I'm looking at
or 9:30 your time.
Well, you're 3 hours ahead. You're 3 hours ahead of me, so I'm looking at about 7:30, 7:45 my time. So about 10:30, 10:45 your time.
Okay, guys, if you're listening, I'm gonna be on Chopping It Up with P. Scott tomorrow morning at about 10:30. I believe we're using StreamYard, so I may even be able to share that show with all of my followers as well. I'm looking forward to it, man. We'll get to break down this game a little bit. We'll get to talk about some Bills and the other games happening tomorrow. It's gonna be a good time, man. I appreciate you calling. Always appreciate your support, bud. And
hey, you as well.
I can say go Bills now because it doesn't affect my Texans.
You can say it for like 8 calendar days and then be off.
Exactly. Absolutely. I just want you to feel the joy I feel.
Stay blessed, man.
Yes, sir, man. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you, man.
Yep.
You got it, man. Take care.
Once again, Prescott Kelly of the Chopping It Up with P. Scott. Very good podcast, very smart guy. I'm going to enjoy being on his show tomorrow. Let's see. Penalties. The Texans had 11 for 69 yards and still won. I said they needed to win the turnover battle, and they did that. 0 interceptions, 0 fumbles. I should have said they need to make all their extra points. But I don't know. It's It's just good to win, man. I right now I'm just in shock. Like, we're in the playoffs, bro. I thought we would win 5 games. Mark Gardner asked, how do I feel about playing in inclement weather? We did not do good against the Jets. Is that a concern? I mean, I think it's always a concern with the Texans because they play in a controlled environment. But at this point, I think this team's playing with house money, like I've said earlier. And I don't know, bro. I think I wouldn't count the Texans out in any situation. It's definitely going to be tough if they have to play in Cleveland. They did not fare well against Cleveland the last time, but also they didn't have C.J. Stroud. As long as C.J. Stroud is under center, man, I think the Texans have a chance. And that is the great thing about having a franchise quarterback, that not every team can say that. Let's see. Someone thinks I look like Fat Joe if he had a doped out brother. Well, you know, my homies don't dance. We just pull up our pants and do the rock away. And we lean back. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the compliment, dude. All righty. Let's see. We got 10 people hanging on. Does anybody else want to give us a phone call and tell us how they feel about the Texans? What are they going to do in the next round? How far do you think this team can go? The Texans have never, ever, ever been to the AFC Championship game. Like, I almost feel like I don't want to ask for too much. Like, don't ask for too much, man. This is good. This is good. My mama's in the building. Thank you, mama. Look, I want to, you taught me that anytime somebody's trying to bully you, you just use humor against them. And that's exactly what I did. You know what? In my opinion, you have not made it until you have internet trolls. You know what I'm saying? I love you too, mama. Thank you for all the life lessons you taught me to help me deal with situations like that. Guys, the Houston Texans are in the playoffs. They win 23-19 in Indianapolis. On January 6th, Houston stormed the capital of Indianapolis. Is it ironic? Is it a coincidence? I don't know. But it's just crazy to me. Credit has to go to D'Amico Ryans for turning this thing around. We talked about that in the pregame show. Got to shout out the McNairs for pulling all the strings. And the real MVP, I feel like, of this team, though, is the youngster, C.J. Stroud, man. Like, without him, I don't know if this team goes as far as it does. So he's definitely offensive rookie of the year. Will Anderson didn't have a great game statistically, but I feel like he affected some things out there. He's got a shot at winning defensive rookie of the year. He's had a good season either way. So, man, I got more internet trolls. Let's see what Paul Peters has to say. Any man whose profile picture is a koala bear, he's got to be a stand-up gentleman. I mean, the koala is a lovely animal, in my opinion. Anyways, so I got 12 people in the building. Nobody wants to give me a call. Okay, so this is what I'm going to say, guys. Houston Sports State of the Union podcast dropping in February. I had a really good time hanging out with you guys before the game, after the game. My wife tried to get me good and lathered up for this thing. That ending was a little too exciting. I think it sobered me up a little bit. But I'm looking forward to keep doing this thing, man. Houston Sports State of the Union is going to be a weekly podcast that basically takes the temperature of Houston Sports Nation, and who better to do that than your self-appointed president? And I can't wait to get to it, man. We're probably going to start sometime around All-Star Weekend for the NBA. That'll be right around the corner from spring training, so it's going to be a good time. And I cannot wait for Paul Peters to continue to support this show. You're the MVP of the chat, my brother. To everybody who tuned in, both to the pregame show, postgame show, I love you. Thank you so much for your support. I'm really overwhelmed by it. So let's go Texans. And I'll tell you what, let's play the trailer for the Houston Sports State of the Union podcast. One more time, because I want you guys to know where to find me. Guys, please follow the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit that notification button. Anytime any content comes out, you'll be notified. I'm going to try my best to do a Houston Sports Weekend review tomorrow, but I might be busy practicing getting my wife pregnant. I don't know. What are we going to do? All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I love you. We'll see you next time.
Houston, Texas, the Bayou City, Space City, Clutch City, the H. No matter what you call Houston, as long as you call it home, then you know that down here, we're all about culture. From legendary barbecue, historic rodeos, and a unique slab culture that has completely changed the game. Never underestimate the heart of a Houstonian, because when our backs are against the wall, you better believe that we're going to come through in the clutch. Speaking of clutch, our sports teams know a little something about that too. It's a great time to be a sports fan in the city of Houston. The Astros have been the most dominant team in baseball going on a decade, and the Houston Texans have found their quarterback of the future. Hell, even the Dynamo are trying to add a few more trophies to the case. And the new-look Rockets finally have the leadership they've been desperately seeking. With a combination of rising young stars and seasoned vets, they are looking to establish themselves as a force to be reckoned with. What more could the city ask for? How about a podcast from someone who lives and breathes with every snap, every pitch, and every tip-off at center court, just like you do. Someone who's been repping H-Town 10 toes down since he was prone on the floor and will be until they put him in the dirt. Someone who's watched the Houston Legends put our city on the map and is ready to witness a new era of greatness. The national media ain't putting in work to cover our teams the way that you deserve. Nick Stevenson may not be the voice that Houston asked for, but he's definitely the voice that we need. So what it do, H-Town? Are you ready to hold it down for the greatest city in the world? Houston Sports State of the Union podcast, coming soon.
That's it, guys. Love you. Thank you. Good night.